So why am I here? What is this? What do you want me to do?
You're already doing it. You were just being
I'm
yourself.
listening to you talk. Is what I'm doing.
And
All
everyone
right.
here who has logged in to listen to me talk and
How
you talk.
many people are watching right now?
I don't know.
44.
44.
All right, that's worth it. All right, so
we never dropped below 30 yesterday, and I think our high was close to 70. So, you know,
well,
and these people are sticking around. It's not like, I mean, when I thought about this, I just thought no one would care. But, you know, I'm hearing from people, you know, they're sitting at work and they're just listening to the shit that's happening. And I'm going to just finish posting this. Sucklord on now.
Come on, guy.
There you go. Hey, shut up. So let's talk about the thing that you created for DKECon.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, our first scheduled interview with you, like this is the first scheduled interview that we've advertised, and I thought it fitting to like start with you.
What do you mean? I'm the first person on this?
Yeah, yesterday was kind of a free for all. You were the first scheduled. People have come on and say, hey, you know, I bought this and this. People ask questions and we chat and stuff. But you're the first scheduled interview.
Ah.
Oh, that I see the look on your face. That did something for your ego. I see.
I mean, it didn't do much. It didn't do much. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, okay, fine. So is this going to be an interview, or are we just chatting, or you have questions prepared, or I know you want to talk about that tote bag. The tote bag's pretty dope. Where's my box of tote bags?
I mean, they just arrived the other day. They'll be in the mail soon.
Those look good.
Yeah, you did a nice job.
It's very on brand.
It says, proud idiot supporter of the Sucklord's ego. Limited to 1,000 pieces. This bag is full of bootlegs, and anyone who orders anything from us this whole show is going to get one up to 1,000.
You're going to send me 100 of those, right?
Yes, we are.
Cool. Yeah, people seem to really want the goddamn tote bag for some fucking reason.
It's pretty good. And we're sending you your cut of these little beauties.
Oh yeah, are people buying those? Why is it blue?
Because that's the color we talked to you about, and you said yes.
Oh, but why?
It's just supposed to be a bootleg of a bootleg.
I see. Well, I don't use blue very much. I don't use blue.
Because this is called bootleg gold.
Yeah, so God forbid it should actually be gold. But
that's right.
It's metaphorical, right?
Yes, of course. Because a previous series that Lou did was called Vintage Gold, where he was painting, you know, things from, you know, nostalgia, and so we just thought we'd expand that to bootleg gold and do iconic characters from
great. Well, you all know what a big fan of nostalgia I am.
Yes, indeed. So tell me a little more about the do-rag and this movement of Zorro do-rags that you're trying to create.
I mean, I do like a good do-rag for a lot of reasons, and
I mean, I watched that whole suck hour that you did, you know, with the gentleman
Flappy Mason. I mean, I don't know. I just really wanted to integrate. I like wearing do-rags for a lot of reasons. One of waving my hair is not one of them because it doesn't work that way. And I just wanted to get a Cobra Commander vibe. You know, his whole thing is that he really looks for do-rags in popular culture and, you know, and in comic books in particular. And, you know, a big one is always about the Green Goblin, you know, wears a do-rag, and then they had the way they draw Norman Osborn's hair. He has the waves. So it just led to the conversation, and it just sort of connected with me, you know, that I'm a big fan of Cobra Commander. So
But Cobra Commander, when he's not wearing the silver mask, that hood is like reminiscent. What was scary about it as a kid is it looked like the Klan, right?
Yeah, well, that's not what scared me. I was never scared of that. It doesn't look like a Klan, because the Klan hood has the big pointy top on the top.
Yeah, but once someone puts on a hood like that, and it's just their eyes poking out, and they're standing at a podium, you know, going like this.
Well, are you scared? Am I scaring you?
No.
What if you didn't know me? Would you be scared?
Yeah, probably.
Good, it's working. I don't know. I really want to. I mean, this is just an old Dewey that I had that I didn't really like the color that much, so I was just experimenting because I want to send him the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you cut the eyes out yourself?
Yeah, this is just what I happened to be doing when my time came up on. So I
see.
I tested
so when
out.
I texted you, like, you're on.
The holes need to be a little further out this way and a little smaller. But if I get this in blue with the Cobra symbol right there, that'd be pretty sick. You know, I'm gonna get kind of literal with that, and then maybe make some pink ones and put like a nice gem here.
But let me ask you a question. The Cobra villain symbol that you use, like on the patches and the pins, the super villain logo, is that different from a G.I. Joe? Is it modified?
It was sort of supposed to be a mashup with the Adidas logo, but I don't think I changed it very much. I have a new version now that it has like the Adidas, that little 3-leafed plant. Mm-hmm. You know, I have that inside the Cobra symbol, and then I put where it says super villain, you know, when they write superstar, it has the little jaggedy line through it. That was the gag to begin with, but it wasn't modified enough. People didn't get the Adidas mashup part, so I leaned in hard on the Adidas shit, and we just did a run of stickers with Discordia, and they're gonna have that new design in there.
Nice.
Got a whole bunch of stickers dropping. Fucking stickers,
the only thing I would say is, like, you're gonna cut the eyes a little closer to the nose, so the eye holes are a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I'm gonna jog this in like 1/4 inch.
Yeah, because otherwise it makes you kind of look like a fish, like your eyes are on the side of your head.
Yeah, I mean, it should. Yeah, the whole thing should be moved over a little bit, but I don't want to ruin too many of my Deweys. You know, right. I just wanted to see if it was work, because we talked about this last year and thought we might have to actually sew on an extra flap, but it turns out you can just pull it down further. You know, you lose a little something in the flaps on the back, but you know,
nice.
That's that.
It does have that, I don't know, that kind of like Douglas Fairbanks kind of, you know, swashbuckling sword kind of feel to it at the moment.
You mean, yeah, I know. You mean like Zorro, right?
It is Zorro, but there was other, you know, movies of that era that, but anyway, you're
Marauder.
Right, but your goal is to have it blue and have the logo in the
yeah,
top.
And I also want to do some pink one and put like a nice little gem here, some third eye shit, you know, because I mean, there's a spiritual side to this headdress, you know, consider it more
like
headdress.
Bootleg Queen is asking when, did you say a patch or the hat?
She said patch.
Oh, she wants to know when the new patch is dropping. There is a supervillain patch that already exists that I think is sold out, but when is the hat coming? Well, when is the do-rag coming?
Oh, when are we going to sell these?
Yeah, people inquiring minds want to know.
I got to talk to my guy.
Oh, you got to talk to your guy. I get it.
Yeah.
So what else is happening in the life of the Sucklord? How is it in New York right now?
It's extremely hot.
Yeah, temperature-wise, but
yeah.
Or just like hot, like.
No, temperature-wise, we're in the middle of a heat wave. It's coming back to life. There's like a lot of activity on the streets. Like people are, you know, like apparently we flattened the curve because we fucking really did it hard in the winter. So they are allowing dining in the street. So people are building these little sort of gazebos in the street, and people are hanging out there and eating. It's great. You know, it's limited traffic. We just had a big Occupy thing going on down here on City Hall, which the police just broke up last night, and they're threatening to send, you know, the federales over here. So
that's so disturbing.
I might have to get back out on the street.
Please don't get cracked on the head again. That was.
Well, I'm gonna wear a helmet and some armor and bring a shield. I mean, I see what they're doing in Portland, and I just like.
Portland thing is just killing me.
It's like, but I'm just awed with, like, they see the footage of these people, these fearless people, and the moms and the dads.
The moms were
with
insane.
the leaf blowers. But now they got dads out there with leaf blowers, blowing all the tear gas away. But they had people advancing with shields, throwing shit, and they drove them back into their fucking building or whatever. I mean,
Man, I
if that was
really,
going on here, I couldn't stay home.
right.
I wouldn't be able to stay home.
I'm proud of what you did. I am just too chicken shit to go get my head bashed in.
Yeah, I don't want that
believe
to
in.
happen again. I went to the Pride Parade or the Pride protest. You know, Pride is canceled this year, but there was a protest that day anyway, and I went out in my stormtrooper, my Gay Empire armor, and the police started throwing down, and I couldn't
At a gay
bring
pride
myself.
parade for what?
It's a protest. It's just a protest on Pride.
What? Like, there's no threat there. That I did see.
Gay
Kano's,
people are oppressed. Gay people are still oppressed.
Oh, I get it.
Trans people are
getting killed. I
by
know.
the police as well.
It's bad.
So
I
there's
know.
a lot to protest, and that's just the spirit of the times right now. And you know, a lot of people also just wanted to go out on Pride, you know, and just be loud and gay in the street.
Sure.
And I wasn't going to stay home while that was happening. So I went out in my gear, and it was all fun.
Let me interrupt you. The gear was amazing, and someone not who knew you at all, totally unassociated with you, like recorded you just like walking around the corner, you know, just with no shirt on, wearing the pink helmet and like your little hot pants, and just commented like New York, ha 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 ha, you know. And then other people wandered by. I was like, Kano, it's like, that's the Sucklord. And then that's how, like, you know, you got tagged, and that's how we all saw it. And that was just amazing. That was cool. That you're just walking to the Pride Parade from your house, like just in full, you know, gay empire mode.
That's how I'm living, you know. I mean, I've dedicated my life to that. And, you know, I mean, but the thing is, it was just sad because when I got out there and everyone, you know, it was fun, you know, it was like a party atmosphere, you know, people really wanted a normal Pride. And then some shit happened and the police started arresting people and getting into you know, skirmishing and whatever. And, you know, they always ask the white people to get in the front, you know, and that's what got me fucked the last time. And I would have done it again, except I had a little bit of PTSD, which I didn't expect. You know, I was just like, got kind of scared. And I also felt like extremely vulnerable in the outfit. You know, I can't see, I can't really run. I can't, that armor isn't going to protect shit.
Right,
and
it's going to crack in your head.
Yeah, and it was just like, you know, it was just disappointing because, you know, I created that character. The intention of the character after it was created was the idea that there would be this sort of like militant force of, you know, of shock troopers that would go in and defend gay people against violence, you know, whether from private citizens or state violence. You know, that was
interesting.
Always,
so
that was always sort of like the sort of like the implication, at least, that, or that's what occurred to me, that they were sort of there to a private militia that would act in defense of gay people. And so here I am.
So just to ask you a question, so the actual Homo Trooper character is not necessarily gay. He is the defender of
gay.
Like,
gay. Yeah, I guess
so you don't have to be gay to be a Homo Trooper. You could defend the rights of gay people and just be part of the army.
I suppose it's like a sort of an ally, you know, a sort of like hyper-fictionalized ally, but was what, you know, and I invested my whole career came out of that. And like a lot of my brand and like my, you know, sort of creative identity is tied up in that. And then when the rubber hit the road and I'm actually standing out there in the armor in the street and there's violence against gay people, I was absolutely useless, you know. And it's not surprising, but it's just like,
I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. I mean, you've taken
hard on myself. It was just like, you know.
But look, you've taken a stand. You are an ally. You've done plenty of work in that regard, and better to live and fight another day than to something like, you know,
I know that
tragically happened to you. Like, you know, you're in an ICU for like 2 months. Like you being healthy can actually create more awareness and do more for the movement than, you know, that one day that you're, you know, feeling bad about.
I know. And that's the decision I made, but it was just like, it didn't feel good, you know, to have to like run away when I'm
I
like
get it.
wearing
Yes.
I mean, I know I'm not that stupid. I'm not that
Look,
naive.
look,
It's just like,
the
you
the
know, it's just
male
like I
the male
invested a lot.
ego, I get it. The male ego, and then like the sucklord male ego, which is like up there, like it is hard to turn around and walk away.
Well,
And
no, I wouldn't call it ego so much. It's just
no,
more like I've invested, and it's also just being an old school Comic-Con veteran, you know,
yeah,
just knowing how powerful cosplay is to people when it comes to self-actualization. You know, when a lot of people who are attracted to cosplay, maybe they were the kids that got picked on, or the weaker kids, or the misfits, or whatever, and wearing those costumes and embodying the form of their heroes, it's a self-esteem boost. I mean, that's what the Boba Fett costume, which eventually became the Sucklord costume, did for me. And then but then when you're actually, so that's sort of what the wearing the gay empire outfit out and actually personifying it, you know, is a good feeling. And then but then, you know, when it's challenged and you have to like realize that you are still kind of small and weak, it's just not fun. It's
yeah.
disappointing. And then
Let's
it
see,
makes me feel like I have to find some other way to contribute, because, you know, there's only so much art can do.
we have a comment now. It says, "I am now even more proud to display my Homo Trooper on my wall." Oh, very nice. Someone else is asking here, how is the Sucklord's head wound doing?
It's fully recovered. Everything's
That's
fine.
good.
That was weeks ago, and fortunately it was I do have I have a thick skull, and it was a superficial wound. The wound didn't take that long.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a little while to mentally recover. I mean, it wasn't the trauma of the injury that kind of
Oh, I'm
blew me
sure
off track.
that goes away quickly. It's
I mean, I've been bashed and banged up, and I've had accidents before, and I've had injuries. That wasn't traumatizing. What was weird for me was just the attention that it got, and just like it just sort of changed my whole purpose of my life. And for like weeks after that, that was like the sort of like singular event, and all this other stuff came from it, and it just like changed my orientation, and it just like it expanded me, but it's also like it took me a long time to just sort of get back. And I also felt like, do I want to go back? Like, you know, do I just want to go and just be this sort of like irreverent pop culture trickster, you know? And I do, but there's more to me than that, and it's just sort of weird trying to
look. I think you get to have your cake and eat it too. I mean, I think you get to be able to self-actualize yourself however you want, and you more than any one of, you know, all the people I know have been able to, you know, turn yourself into, you know, like you said, like the personification of what you want to be, right? And like, you know, you are on a path and you have a place that you're going, and you talk about, you know, often we talk about your name and like your given name and the meaning that has or does not have for you, and what the Sucklord is. And, you know, every time we talk about these things, so now you've kind of added a whole nother dimension to like the meaning of the gay empire figure, right? Now that you've kind of just like stumbled into that, like, what does it mean? And, you know, based on your experience of actually wearing the costume and going out there and, you know, being an ally and what that means. And I don't know, I think that's a very interesting like evolution of the character and your life kind of at the same time.
Yeah, sure. It was just a lot to process, because it was not
I'm sure
it came out of nowhere, you know. I wasn't really expecting that, and I was on a completely different trajectory before any of that stuff happened, and it was just a lot to absorb. But I feel like I'm kind of back where I was. But then it's like you can't go back. It's like this shit is still happening.
Absolutely. I think what's happening now in the world, I mean, not the pandemic, but what's happening politically and the awareness that is being created is great. What's kind of debilitating for me is trying to explain this to my 6-year-old.
How's
Like,
that going?
I mean, we drive by, he asked me, like, why is that building boarded up? Why is that burnt down? Like, why is, like, I thought the cops are the good guys. And it's like, well, it's like when you need them and someone is like doing something bad, like you hope, and you make that call, you hope so. But then, have to, my example to him is like, why do you hit your sister? And he goes, it's like, well, because you can. Right. And then he sort of understood, like, he's sort of in a position of power and he can kind of get away with it. And so I kind of explained to him just how power corrupts and how there has to be checks and balances. But what I don't know is if, society can ever change from, a violent, I mean, violence is the major deterrent for all of our actions. Unfortunately, like, violence is why we behave the way we do in our
Speak for
culture.
yourself, pal.
No, I mean, look, if you don't pay your rent or you don't make your house payment, eventually a marshal shows up and, forces you to leave. That's an act
Right.
of violence. If you are hungry and you cannot eat and you walk into a market and you just grab an apple and you start eating, someone will come and arrest you and rob you of your liberty. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's true.
so at the very core of it, violence is what is used to keep us all in line, even though they say like 80% of the population has absolutely no dealings with the cops, right? Except for, some minor traffic issues, like, and so most people are, it's kind of like, it's like we all have a leash on, but the question is how big, all in a cage. The question is, how big is that cage?
Well,
And
I
so
guess, I mean, some people do the right thing just because it's the right thing to do and don't need to be forced to do the right thing.
depending on what, but it's okay. So if you are hungry and you go into a market and you steal an apple that doesn't belong to you because you are trying to survive, and then your liberty is robbed from you, or taken, not robbed from you, it is taken away from you by, somebody else because you've committed a crime. I mean, it's not that someone didn't show up and offer you food and take you to a shelter and offer you help. They offered to just, take you away and lock you up for what you've done. So yes, most of us try and go by the rules, but for a certain part of the population, let's say people who are, I'm just using that as just a basic example, people who are hungry, we are, punishing people for being hungry.
Yeah, for being poor, or unsuccessful, or
Right.
mentally ill, or
And
unable
so
to feed themselves for some reason.
and so that's kind of, what this whole idea of, like, I think defunding the police is about. It's not about, really getting rid of police. It's just we ask police to do too much, asking them to be social workers and asking them to be, homeless advocates and, mental health professionals. And so
Yeah,
this,
and also there's just no mechanisms to deal with the people.
and we can't, because if you have a drug problem, that's a medical issue. And that medical issue, like, if you look at, if I was personally, I'm for a public option for, healthcare. And I think that if this pandemic does not prove how important that is, that, I forget the statistic, 5 or 10 million people in the middle of a pandemic who lost their job also lost their health insurance, which is tied to their job. And
These are all the problems of capitalism.
no, not necessarily. Like, when people ask Noam Chomsky, like, why do you hate capitalism? He, his response is, I don't have a problem with capitalism. We should try it sometime. And the thing is, no, we have kind of like this crony kind of capitalism with, a whole bunch of people with their finger on the scale. And capitalism is not, democracy, which is different from free market kind of, that's a whole nother issue. It, poor people are expected, to pull up their bootstraps and get to work and work hard, and people with privilege and have money are,
Yeah,
are
they're socialists.
are socialists. That's right. I mean, if you look at how much money the government gives to corporations, you look at how the military, is basically at the core of it. They're supposed to be defending us, but really they're defending the rights of corporations. Like, they're guarding sea lanes to make sure that oil, can get through. We have 200 bases all around the world. Like, and we're I'm going to quote the Noam Chomsky again. He says that the military is, what is the quote? He says that the military protects private business from market discipline. And if you think about what that means, like when the FBI spends so much time, the majority of their time, protecting patents of a pharmaceutical company that a French company is trying to steal. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but that pharmaceutical company, which is private, is not contributing back to pay the government to do this work. So it is like, it's socialism for all of these companies, for all of the people at the top, which might be necessary, right? I mean, getting oil over here might be necessary safely.
We do, whether we like it or not, we do need it.
We do need it, except when there's people in power who need it to keep control, and then if there's something else comes along is preventing that other thing from being successful, because it would eliminate their power. So I don't know, we're here to talk about toys, man.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I mean, we could talk about this for hours.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's we got about 10 more minutes here. So
that went by pretty fast.
So let me ask you just a personal question that is affecting me. Do you think New York Comic Con is going to happen in October?
No.
They still haven't canceled it yet.
Whether it's canceled or not, I'm not going. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, well, Sarah has like forbidden me to go. She's like, no way are you going to like Comic-Con.
I don't think you should go, because even if it is open, it's going to be poorly attended. They're going to try to, I don't see how they could do it. I would think you should just do this again. You already got everything set up.
Dollar Slice says, yeah, that's crazy talk, Dove. Don't go, man. Well, I can't go because Sarah has forbidden me to go. I don't think I would go if I had the option, either. Getting on a plane, staying in that little tuna can hotel, being in a room standing in one place while 50,000 people walk by you just seems...
I don't think there's going to be 50,000 people there. I think a lot of people will avoid it. And the people that do go there are people I wouldn't want to be around anyway. If you're stupid, thinking about this. If you're stupid enough to go to Comic-Con,
right,
you've been taking other risks, and I don't need that. I don't need to be around people like that. Like, if you feel safe going there, you've probably been going all kinds of places that aren't safe. And I just don't think it's worth it. And it sucks anyway.
But like, why, they canceled the, when is the New York Marathon? In October? They canceled that in October.
And that's outdoors.
Yeah, but why not cancel Comic-Con? Why am I still getting emails to pay the balance of my booth and to book hotels?
I don't know. Who's in charge of making those decisions?
You read, ultimately it's the mayor, right? Or the governor?
I guess so.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they don't know what. Maybe they don't. It's so insignificant that they haven't even thought about it.
Oh, they can't.
But I would plan to skip it. Fuck them.
All right. Well, you heard it first, everyone. DKECon's coming back here.
What about Designer Con? Is that happening?
That's going to be the biggest loss to me of the year. That is the most fun for me all year.
That's sad.
Just because, and it's like
if that's the highlight of your year, man, I feel.
Oh, it's sad that that's my highlight, or it's sad that I don't get to have my highlight.
Both.
Yeah, getting together with everyone, seeing everyone, having the decon party, like,
It's
that's
nice.
that's fun for me. To really get to like connect with people I've been dealing with.
Is it canceled?
No, Star Wars Celebration in the same room in August is canceled. So, and that was pushed out for 2 years. So it's
Nobody
not.
needs to go to fucking Star Wars Celebration.
Do you know how much Star Wars stuff I have in the warehouse here?
There ain't nothing to celebrate right now. I mean, maybe,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, don't get me started. I could go for another hour. I just want to
All
talk
right.
about Star Wars.
Well,
Who's on next?
We will leave it at that. What's on next? Lou Pimentel is coming on at 1. I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat, and I think Scott Cherry's gonna come on and entertain the boys and girls for a few minutes.
Wait, what are you gonna do you're leaving now? What time is it?
It's almost 12:40.
Give me a fucking hour? Not gonna give me an hour?
Do you want to stay?
I mean, yeah, we're in a roll here.
Oh,
Get
we got a
somebody to
roll.
get you food. Don't you got it like that?
Oh no, there's food over there. I just don't want to eat it in front of everyone. No one wants to watch me eat.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I've already written off everything
For
this
the
year. And I've never felt so fucking free and light in my life. I love that there's no fucking anything I have to plan for or go or do or travel or no deadlines, no nothing. I'm just doing shit at my own pace.
It's an unintended positive consequence for you. There are other
those
people.
Are some of the best. So those are some of the best.
You're right. There are other people that are horribly devastated, like that are in certain industries that are just completely non-existent anymore.
No, yeah, I know, and I feel bad for them.
I mean, down to from people I know who are on the convention circuit who like have had to get a job at Amazon fulfilling orders, like running around, to people who, you know, I read Forces of Darkness post, like he's in the, you know, the live show industry, and I read his, you know, post, like his industry is just, there's no more shows. There's no more roadies, there's no more trucking, there's no more live performance, no more lighting, no more sound. All of those people just, they're sitting at home doing nothing for a year is what it seems like. Well,
wait a minute. That gives him time to make more toys.
If someone could actually make a living at that, yes. I do see a little more output from him.
A lot of people make a living off of it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. This has been, look.
And I'm not knocking anybody's hustle or anything.
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm not shaming people for like being more,
making
the best of it.
Not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, you know, there are, you know, I'm happy and pleased that this is good for us. Like, yes, I saved $10,000 in expenses from not going to San Diego. True. And I mean, this is still a lot to put on. All we saved on is like going down there and back. Yes. But
I guess you'll take a look at your numbers at the end and decide.
We already made more in one day than we do for an entire San Diego.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. So
are you gonna maintain your Shopify store? Like when it's not this?
Don't think I want a store year round, but seasonally, I think. Yeah, so, you know, we sell blisters and we'll have Suckle and the books that we're publishing and stuff like that. Whether the bootlegs will be on there, like I was telling some people before, I don't want the DKE Toy site to be the place where like bootlegs that didn't sell at the convention go to die. That is not the reputation and that's one of the reasons where I never had an online store to begin with. Like my job was to go to a convention, do outreach, sell stuff for these artists to the old people, but new people too. But then I don't put stuff online that competes with them, right? Because everyone here sells their own stuff. So now that it's a necessity, I don't know. We'll see how it, you know, how the chips fall. I think if we do our job right and the promotion, that's why people make stuff for us to sell. Is really to get that that press push, get new followers, get the attention of people. There's some aura that people think of having an exclusive I don't know why. It's not much different than, you know, Dollar Slice makes something for us here for a show, but he's got equally awesome stuff on his site, like you can go buy anytime, right? And he's got new releases all the time. So what is special about this? I don't know. You know, it's in a different venue. There are some people who do like to shop here and just, they only shop from us and don't go to other stores and stuff. So Dollar Slices. Thanks, man. So we'll see how it shakes out. I don't know what it would be like. I'm not looking to expand this business. Like, it's just me and Ian here. And I don't know how Ian feels about it. I can't imagine another person running around here. And in order to maintain, you know, we kind of have a quiet operation, and we're gonna be in a little trouble come Monday. You know, we have 500 orders to pack and ship.
That's gonna be fun.
Maybe more. You know, it's gonna take us 2-3 weeks, and you know, everyone will get their stuff, and we'll do a nice job and pack everything well. But in order to do that year round, it would really have to have like a regular staff of people packing, and that was kind of a life that I sold and got away from.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I want to get away from it too. I'm tired. I hate running my own online store. I can't stand it. It takes so much time away from doing the work itself. And
there are options, and you will figure
but
that out.
none of this is that fucking interesting, man. Let's talk about like the future. Like I had an interesting conversation with somebody today. I met on Instagram a bootleg toy maker from Iran.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's really got me interested right now. I'm talking to people in Taiwan. I got bootleg friends in mainland China. Quicks is telling me about there's a whole scene in Indonesia. It's like,
yeah, I've gotten a few pieces from a couple Indonesian artists recently. I got some stuff from a guy in Poland.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm trying to go to these places.
Right.
I mean, that would be some real shit right there. It'd make a great TV show, I think.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would.
Yeah. Dollar Slice says Machine 56 from Indo are insane. Those scenes are blowing up. Yeah. I mean, Thailand, like all of our biggest sellers now are from Thailand. Like,
I mean, the thing that attracts me to that more than anything is like, because I could go to these places and be treated like a living god, you know. It's like these people are out of their mind, you know. Like this fellow from Iran who he's only got, I don't remember his info. I should get it too. I should make a list of people, you know. He's like, he posts this. I started following him, and he posts this thing on his Instagram, like, I can die now. The Sucklord is following me. And nice. I mean, in a way that's kind of depressing, but on the other hand, it just knows that, like,
well, it depends what you're doing. Like, if you're a lawyer, yes, but if you make, you know, action figures, having the Sucklord following you, that's a big deal.
Well, that's good, because I need these international friends, because I got some adventures planned, and you know, it's just like I try to collect these connects, because you know, when this is all over, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here and go see some of these places, and then I can fucking shoot porn while I'm there too. That's the thing. That's what I was doing before the protest started. I was like,
I'm gonna ask you not to go to Iran and shoot porn.
That's probably a good idea. I mean, I don't even think
you want to go to Iran for a visit.
But they probably wouldn't even let you go there and shoot a reality show there. Somebody would get mad about that. Did Anthony Bourdain ever go to Tehran or anything like that?
I think so. I'm not positive, but I think
he went to Beirut.
That's Lebanon.
You know, he's been to Turkey. He's been all around.
I'm talking specifically Iran.
I don't know.
Check the roster of 90 Day Fiance.
Iran is difficult because
because it's a sanctioned country.
That's not the issue. Is that having a Cold War with the United States for the past 70 years means that they are suspect that if you're an American and you are going there, first of all, there's Americans of Iranian descent, Persians that
Someone
go
says,
there.
Yeah, he did go to Iran.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's doable.
It's doable, yes. The problem is even if you are an American citizen and you're Persian and you go there to see family, which people do all the time.
Yeah, my dentist is Iranian.
You are suspect of working. The U.S. has destabilized that country
they think you're a
so
spy.
badly. And you're not, right? But they're still suspect of you. And so what happens is there are a lot of writers, and because this is what happens. Like if you're a writer and you go someplace and you find out information, I mean, if you look at the list of like people that the CIA has gone and debriefed, like they're trying to get intel. And so it automatically, you know, it's kind of like free speech in Cuba. You know, it's like yes, you know, they're a communist country, and yes, they have, you know, they don't have freedom of the press, and that is bad. The flip side to that is that every time, if there was freedom of the press, the U.S. interest would go in there with all the misinformation, and they've already caught, like, you know, Facebook pages and all this stuff being funded, you know, by people trying to destabilize the country. And so it just gives it gives places like Iran and Cuba an excuse to clamp down on everyone, because the U.S. is just constantly screwing with them, because they are our enemy, and they're trying to, you know, use all of that information against them to destabilize. And now, you know, obviously we know now the destabilizing power of, you know, social media and what it's done to us for the past 4 years, and how, you know, and, you know, the funny thing is we always talk about how, you know, the influence Russia had or did not have on our election, you know, but if you look at the U.S. has tried to destabilize every election in Russia forever, right? Every single one.
I know that. All I'm saying is I want to go to Iran.
Good for you.
And play with toys.
Just be careful,
and I'm
because
try
they're
to
gonna assume you're a spy, and, you know, you're gonna try and like screw some chick, and they're gonna throw you in jail, and I'm gonna get a call trying to bail you out of an Iranian prison. That's just gonna be terrible.
That'd be a fun game. Anyway, that wouldn't be the first place I would go. But I was really the thing I was really about getting ready to do is start my OnlyFans and start publishing my X-rated content. And then I have so much shit ready to do.
You have, so how much X-rated content do you have right now?
Well, at the moment, not much. I put out that one video in February with the action figure and the giant vagina, and then I have a few other things I shot by myself, and I have some.
Oh, right, okay.
I mean, right now it'd be mostly
the image is burned into my mind of the action figure, like.
Well, you don't want to. You're not going to want to watch any of this stuff because it's like.
Because I really don't want to see your dick. Like.
Why? Why not? But why not?
What?
So you've seen it.
Oh.
Balls already.
Ian's right. I've seen your dick already.
Where?
On your Instagram.
Right. So you're going to get used to it. You're going to get used to it. I just like.
Is this something I can get used to?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, because it's just like there's a whole side to me, that whole sexual side, which is no secret to anybody, but it hasn't really fully been explored. And I'm just looking at the way
I think we all have that side, but most of us don't explore it publicly. That's right.
Well, that's a shame, you know, because I think I could do something interesting here, because I'm just looking at over the years, there's the continual destigmatization of pornography and how mainstream it is, and especially what happened during the quarantine, how so many people who lost their jobs sort of turned to, you know, not people who had never done any sex work before in their life, had turned to, you know, selling nudes on OnlyFans, and it's just becoming more and more of a just sort of an everyday thing, where I really truly do believe in the next decade or so, like everybody is going to have a OnlyFans, just like they have a Facebook page. Not everybody, but a lot of people, a lot more people. It's like there was a time when you would, if a naked picture of you leaked, you could lose your job and would end your life. And now nobody gives a fuck. And people are just tired of being repressed, and people want to have fun, and they want to.
But there's the next level to that, and that facial recognition software is not available to all of us right now on our phones, but in the next 10 years it will be. And what you're going to find is all of these people who are anonymously posting stuff, these things are going to live forever on the internet. And what's going to happen is,
when you publish your porno, you're aware of that.
correct, but I'm just saying that it's going to be amazing to see that like generations down the line are going to be able to look up online with facial recognition software and just find like the porn that like grandma was in. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
that'd be fucking cool.
it's well, it depends on your point of view, but yes.
Well, just like, but at that time, at that point in the future, it won't be such a strange thing that your grandma made porn. You know, there's grandmas making porn now, so it's like, I just feel there's a lot of things that I want to explore, and I feel like I could do a very interesting hybrid between like sort of mainstream standard like amateur gonzo porn and like reality TV. You know, I just think there's
good luck to you.
Thanks.
There's one comment here from Phil. He said, "One look at the Homo Trooper and you won't get a passport. You won't get past passport control." And so that is probably the single overriding factor with you going to Iran, in a country that is so anti-gay and is known for putting gay people in prison and to death.
Well, then fuck it. I guess I won't go. Fuck
That's
their fucking loss.
I don't think in the current climate that even you would probably be allowed. You would have to go to the consulate and actually see. But one, you just Google like your name and like all this stuff comes up. Like, I don't think they want you there.
Yeah, well, fuck them. That's their loss then.
Yeah, indeed. All right.
Too
Well,
bad.
now it's 12:53, and now I do have
bye.
to let you go. Oh,
Okay,
that's it. God,
I'm cool.
No pleasantries. No like. Hey, thanks.
Thanks for having me on this. I think it's cool what you're doing.
Thank you.
I appreciate that you're adapting and that you're keeping this thing going.
I appreciate your support.
I have some other stuff to talk to you about offline in the future.
I'm available. Did you post this on your Instagram yet?
No.
Would you?
Can you send me a good photo of it?
Yeah.
Or I'll take care of it. Yeah, great. Cool. Yes.
Yes to all that. Pleasantries aside.
When this is all over, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with something.
I need to give everyone a little backstory, because when I call you, or in the past when I've called you, you would just say, "Yes, what is it?"
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I got mad and I was like, "Can you just be pleasant?" You're like, "Oh, do we do that now?" And so now every time I call you, you say in a very sarcastic tone, every time, "Hey, how are you?" And I say, "Fine, thanks. How's it going?" Anyway,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so you have a certain way that you address me, and it's pretty fantastic. But on that note, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you for stopping by. And you know, what does he say? Phil says, "Come to England, take your seat in the Lords."
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Bye. Thanks. Good luck.
I will talk to you soon. Bye. The pleasantries, like it's a waste of time for him.